My name's Gary Clark. I own Cloverly Automotive, and I was elected to the Howard County GOP Central Committee.
Thank you for coming to the interview. As a Christian, which aspect of Korean culture appeals the most to you?
I was introduced to Korean Society of Maryland and started helping out with that. I always just assumed that Asian people were all Buddhist, and then I found out that most of the Korean people that live in my community are Christians, so I felt comfortable with them. When we get together, I feel like I'm with my brothers and sisters, which I am, my brothers and sisters in Christ. I just feel comfortable. When I get around types of religion, I'm not comfortable at all. Some of them, I just want to get away from them because they're a little scary. And you probably know who I'm talking about, but it's not that I'm a snob because, you know, I associate with Americans and all cultures that are not even Christian. They're nothing. They're atheists. They don't even believe in God. You know, it saddens me, but that, you know, because I know ultimately where they're going to end up. But I don't find that too much in the Korean community. I can tell by talking to them that they're truly Christian. It's not a put-on or a person that sits in a pew every Sunday that doesn't know God and that doesn't know Jesus. They're not Christian. You know, they're religious. They're not Christian.
What is your involvement with the Korean community and how are things proceeding?
Well, I got involved, mainly it had a lot to do with politics, outreach, trying to gather votes. And then I made so many friends within that community that, and I was having fun, you know, going out and doing, you know, crazy things with them. So
could you be a little more specific?
It's like I told Jenny, when I'm coming to do something with the KSM and with the Koreans, I know two things. I'm going to work very hard, and then I'm going to eat a lot at the end of the day. There's always work and food.
I heard that you were impressed by how the young Korean Americans cleaned the site after Korean festival.
I feel comfortable because I see generational, and from the oldest people to the youngest people, they have the same values, and Koreans have a very good sense of community and family, like it should be.
Yeah. What are the value of volunteers should have in your opinion? Do you have a recommendation to the young people?
What do I like about volunteering? Believe it or not, I've learned to enjoy working and eating and working with the Korean community because of the values that are bestowed within the family and in the community. I think that somehow Americans have lost the sense of community, and I see a strong sense of community within the Korean culture. The value of volunteering is meeting new friends, helping within the community. I look at it as a community outreach now, and I like to involve my grandchildren and children in some of the things that the Korean community puts on. And as far as new volunteers, young volunteers coming on, I can't emphasize how much the importance of keeping the family unit together and to keep the community together. I mean, I talk to people all the time. They live next door to somebody for 20 years and they don't even know them or know their name, and they don't, you know. It's important to get together and do things as a community, and it's very, very important for the family to, you know, keep the family unit together, and I see that in the Korean community. So for young volunteers, just remember that's all very, very important. It's important for your family, for your own well-being, and it's important for the community.
How can you tell some of young Americans lost the sense of community?
Like, for example, you know, big families, they get together, they have get-togethers, and they all go to the grandparents' house or the parents' house. And then when that grandparent or parent dies, then it's like the family separates. And I don't see that in the Korean community. I think the relatives, the cousins and the nephews and the sisters and brothers, they stay together as a community. And that's so important, especially, you know, nowadays. I mean, you know, powers that be are trying to break the family apart because that weakens the whole.
What do you think about kimchi and Korean food?
Well, I like anything spicy. I like Korean food, I like Thai food, I like spicy barbecue, American food. Some people can't eat kimchi, they say it's too hot, but man, you know, I've eaten food so hot that I was sweating while I was eating it, and that's what I like eating. If kimchi didn't have any fire to it, I wouldn't like it, I wouldn't eat it. If it was just the peppers that make it so good. No, I mainly look at it, and if it's real red, I know it's spicy, I know it's good. Now, I tell you that in recently, the Korean events I've been to, they are providing knives, forks, and spoons, but I have gone to them where it's just chopsticks, and I get more food on me than I do in my mouth. So I'm not good with chopsticks at all because I wanted it, and then I had some friends that like it, and I got it for them, and then some of my employees like it. I didn't know that buckets were going to be so big this year, but it taste is there. It's still good. My granddaughter has developed a strong taste for kimchi. She loves it. And she likes a lot of the other stuff. She likes going with me and, eating, trying different food and stuff. And I'm sure there's stuff that she doesn't like either, but there's a lot of stuff that she does. And she could probably tell you the name of it. She's a little better than me.
Do you have any recommends about Korean community can improve?
Well, that's a tough one. You guys are doing a real good job so far, but if you can just continue emphasizing to your children and the next generation how important the things we've talked about here at the table, to keep that family unit together in the community and work hard. That's another problem with young people today is they don't have the work ethic, like older people. He worked for me last summer, and I told Jenny, I said, if it doesn't work out, I don't want any hard feelings. He'd never had a screwdriver in his hand as far as I know. And by the end of summer, when he left my shop, the last job he did that was complicated was rebuilding the whole rear suspension in an independent suspension Nissan sports car. Of course, I have to go back or the mechanics have to go back and check and make sure everything's tight but he did it. Everything he did pretty much to perfection. And I just couldn't believe that this young guy that just is a brainiac and never really worked with his hands. He blew everybody's mind at my shop. He's highly intelligent and he's ambitious, and people need to be like that. They're doing a very, very good job with owning their own businesses, and that's what built America, was people, small business people, and they have a tendency to support those businesses in a big way, which is also very important. To improve it, it'd be nice if they could get together and help other people open businesses and just continue to, grow the free enterprise system. The small independent business owners, the little grocery stores, the liquor stores, the bakeries, the restaurants, the Koreans, everything, acupuncture, everything they do here in Ellicott City serves the whole community, not just the Korean community, but it serves the whole community. And if you can somehow expand that, because the more free enterprise, the more the country thrives. I would say do what you're doing, but expand it. No guarantee you're going to succeed in any business. Yeah. I can't believe it's about 40 years now I've been in business for myself. And in the 44 years, every car repair shop and gas station around me within 3 or 4 miles went out of business, and they've changed owners and things like that. So I think that, and I do think Koreans have this sense about them as well, that I was never in the gas station business or the car repair business. I've always been in the people business, and I treat my customers how I would want to be treated. And I find that a lot within the Korean community, willing to serve and satisfy their customers. So very important for longevity.
Any other comment you would like to add before you conclude?
Very, very important is that Korean community actually goes out and votes, not necessarily by party, but by a party affiliation, but it vote for the community and what's best for the community. And I find a lot of Koreans do not vote, and they make up a big part of our community here in Howard County. It's very important that they get on that bandwagon and actually go on election day and vote. And that adds to the community as a whole, not just the Korean community, but the whole community. And I think business people make wise decisions when they do vote. And most of them are business people, so I think it's very important for them to get involved in politics. If you don't get involved in politics is going to get involved with you, and you're not going to like that. So go out and vote. Please subscribe and like. Meet in Manna